Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. PetVivo has a tool that works with osteoarthritis for dogs, perhaps cats, horses as well. And with me is the CEO, John Lai, to bring us up to date on this study that was just released. So set the stage. What was this study, and then what did it tell us?
So we have a series of studies going related to horses, dogs, and cats. And this one was related to torn cruciates in dogs. So it's a very serious injury. It's like a human being tearing their ACL.
Okay.
So the data that came out was quite impressive, and veterinary doctors are really surprised by how well it did. So basically, we set the study at 25% improvement in pain and mobility.
That was your goal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we wanted to show beyond that. So 64.5% was beyond. So generally, when you're having a therapy or some type of pharmaceutical product for osteoarthritis or something like that, if you have a 5% improvement, it's considered really good. So we set the hurdle much higher to show this is quite disruptive, dramatic for the industry, and we accomplished that goal. The second cohort will be done in October, and what that means is a verification of the data. And we feel with that, it will help a lot of dogs and other animals because of the fact generally the procedure is surgery. You don't have a choice. Just like with humans, you tear an ACL, it's surgery.
Now there's also something in a couple of weeks that you'll be unveiling as well. What is that?
Yeah, so actually a couple of our veterinary doctors that are doing a study in hip dysplasia, they're actually doing a presentation at the International Veterinary Pain Management, which is a society, a group or organization of veterinary doctors that specialize in rehab and pain management. So they will be doing a wet lab demonstration of using Spring in the hip application and other applications, and talking about the success they've been having with the product outside of the study.
Okay.
So that was one of our missions and goal when we did our NASDAQ uplist and capital raise, was to do much more podium presentations, because that's very important to veterinary doctors, because that's part of the continuing medical education requirement.
I see.
So when they sit at these conferences, they're able to get credit, but they learn something new, and it's more likely to adopt that way. And you also give the salespeople that are working for you something to point to, saying, hey, have you seen this latest data? And it's very important for us to drive now the small animal side of the market, because 90% of our sales is equine, but now we have the medical evidence to support statements we've been making. Now it's easy to get these people on board, the veterinary doctors.
So Spring first started with horses.
Yeah.
And now the dogs are coming, the studies are showing promise there, it sounds like. And then cats is the next target. So where does that stand?
So I'm happy to say the cat study's completed. We don't have the data, we can't announce the data, but we expect them. We've been accepted by one of the top medical journals for feline to publish there, which is very, very cool, because to get in those top journals, you got to show some pretty good evidence. So once again, I expect that to go show good data. I think it'll be 90 days that we could see something on that.
That you can talk about it.
Yeah, well, not just talk, but have public information disseminated. Yeah.
Now, when do you think cat and dog owners might be able to actually use this?
Well, dog owners right now can use it.
So they can.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been selling along, but we haven't pushed it because we didn't have the scientific data to support what we believe happened in the real world. Because I think we're well over 2,000 dogs treated and been doing really well. And we've had some cats treated by veterinary doctors already that we know we're doing well. So hopefully by the end of July, the cat product will be out and be able to go forward. Zoetis announced some numbers, and it showed that their cat product their monoclonal antibodies doing extremely well, which bodes well for us because, you know, our product, I feel, does a very good job and probably better, but, you know, I can't say that probably.
And then, so what about humans? Would this ever be able to be used on humans?
Yeah, so if you look at the lineup of studies that we got coming out, and we started the process funded by NIH in humans. So we've injected 145 humans, proven safety, proven that there's no autoimmune response and everything. That's how we got the human medical device designation. So as we proof up this data on the animal side, I feel likely that we can get fast tracked through the FDA under an IDE application. So probably within 2 years, if everything goes right, we could have a product ready for humans. And if you think about just the ACL part of it, how significant that is, if you got a partial tear, a lot of professional athletes may not have to go through the surgery and they could be back playing in 90 days if everything goes right. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity of not just moving the meter on the gauge on the meter, we're actually moving the meter. So we're excited about it.
My husband's an athletic trainer, so I'm familiar with the ACL, the athletes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, John. Great to get an update and great to hear about these encouraging dog results. And
well, thank you, Jane.
Yeah, we look forward. I know it's a big year for you, so we'll look forward to more updates.
Yep.
Thank you.
Coastal Capital focuses on equipment-based lending, lines of credit, and working capital. I founded my company based on the belief of partnerships. If we didn't have partnerships and trust and relationships, nothing would move forward. We really like to get to know the core of the client. We want to know who we're working with. We believe in a story, and that's why we call ourselves a story time lender. Coastal Capital is financing you can trust.
Hempacco is disrupting tobacco with hemp cigarettes. And with me to explain more, CEO Sandro Piancone and the Chief Marketing Officer Jorge Olsen. Great to have you guys back.
Excellent. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So let's start with Green Star Labs. I know you've got a lot going on. Tell me about the launch of that product. These are him and her products, right? So explain that.
Yes, I'm going to let Jorge.
Correct.
Okay.
We have a factory in San Diego, California with our own lab. And we manufacture beauty products. We also manufacture vitamins. So this is our line. We're launching our own line. It's called Green Star Labs, which is the name of the factory. And the first products to come out will be beauty products for him and beauty products for her, including your entire routine that you need in the morning, from washing your face to everything before applying your makeup. For her. And then for him, it's the same. And then we're adding other products such as shaving kits, for example, so that you have the whole routine for him as well, moisturizer, face wash, etc. We're launching with direct response marketing so that we can sell directly to consumers, mostly online, maybe a little bit on television as well, so that people can call in, they can start their 30 days, and then we can ship either once or every 30 days the product so they can get it into their house on a timely fashion. Now our goal with this is to have the best ingredients, the best products available without the $150 to $250 price tag that you would find for the competitive products with the same ingredients in big stores that we're not going to mention today. But how about instead of paying $125 to $200, $250, we will make the same product available for $20 so that every guy, every girl, everybody can afford the best ingredients to use inside and out, because the same is going to happen with the vitamins. Very high quality ingredients in gummies, pills, capsules for him and for her as well in vitamins.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the price will be welcome to people who are just exhausted by inflation at this point. So, so what is the go-to market strategy then?
We will start with direct to consumer, which what it means is we will reach out to people that we know can use the product, and we'll say, hey, this is the product that we have, and they might shop for it online, for example. That's one of our strategies, where we'll find these consumers interact with them directly online, explain the product, how to use it, educate the consumers on the use of the product, the application of the product, etc. Now, our long-term strategy is also to place these products in traditional retail locations and non-traditional retail locations. The traditional would be pharmacy, mass, supermarkets, natural markets, but we'll also have the non-traditional markets, such as a convenience store, where you can go and buy, you're going for a moisturizer to your pharmacy. However, maybe you forgot it, or you're in your car, you're putting gas, you're going to travel, you can pop into a convenience store and buy a smaller size for that day.
Okay.
So that's how we're launching the product.
So when will the launch take place?
Next month.
Okay.
So by the time people are viewing this, the product will be out and they will be able to buy it.
And how can they do that?
They can start by going to the mothership company, also for wholesale distribution opportunities of the product, which is ggiigroup.com.
Okay, so both consumers and retailers could go to that website
Yes.
and find out more information.
And our plan is not only through our distribution network that we have throughout the United States, also international distribution.
Fascinating. You guys have been busy and you have so many exciting projects going.
Yes.
Yes.
So best of luck. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thanks.
The Sustainable Green Team is a leading provider of environmentally conscious solutions in the arbor care, disposable, and recycling industry. We are a green manufacturer of green waste to usable product solutions. We recently partnered with VRM Biologic, which has manufacturing and distribution rights for the world-leading soil moisture technology, Humasoil. Find us on OTCQX as the stock ticker SGTM. The time to invest in the future of sustainability is now for this generation and future generations.
Sustainable Green Team's mission is to help the environment in a variety of ways, such as cleaning up disaster sites, partnering with sustainable soil companies as well. And SGTM makes Humasoil available for home, gardens, and lawns throughout the U.S. to relieve the water use in the cities. And with me is the CEO, Tony Raynor of Sustainable Green Team. Great to have you here today.
Wonderful.
So let's talk about the soil and the Humasoil that you're working with. First, just tell me what it is.
Well, Humasoil, it's really a revolutionary product that is using a patented technology through what we call a groundswell process, and we're able to speed up the process of manufacturing humus in soil.
Okay, and so why is that important? Why do we need humus?
Well, humus, I would say, is really the bloodline of our existence on this planet. The natural organisms that are operating in the soil that really create life and give us healthy water filtration and just all the added benefits of being able to actually sequester carbon into the ground. And so it's important that we have that for our survival.
And you're able to manufacture that, right?
Absolutely.
It's naturally occurring, but you're able to do it, more efficiently and more plentiful?
Yeah.
Okay.
So humus takes years and years and years to be formated.
Okay.
And we're destroying it by the millions of tons yearly. And so with this new technology and this patented process, we're able to incubate and manufacture Humasoil in a 6-month period.
Interesting. What do we do that destroys humus?
Well, it's really the way that for years we've been dealing with agricultural, with ripping up and tilling up the ground, using synthetic fertilizers, and it's just been a lot of erosional issues, desertification. So really, it's come to be where we're in a place in a pivotal point in this world that we need to make some serious changes, and the healing our soil is a great start.
Now, I mentioned that for lawns and gardens, would this also be for large-scale farms?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So our company, one of our subsidiaries, has been a pioneer in the big box chains. And so we have 35 years experience of getting it out there into the market like that. So we wanted to utilize that platform that we already have because we believe every household can contribute. And that would be one way we also get the word out.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the agriculture market is what we're going to penetrate.
Well, that's probably where you have the biggest impact on these huge multi-acre farms. So,
Absolutely.
So, and you mentioned the big box stores, I guess, is you would sell it there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's our goal to have humus oil available across the nation, the Caribbean islands. We currently have all exclusivity for small packaging throughout the whole U.S. So it's really important that, you look this up, you hear about us, how do I get it? And so going to a big box is a simple way of doing that.
Okay. And how can we increase the awareness of humus and what you're trying to do?
I think that's a big, important, for us to be able to increase that awareness. We're utilizing partnerships through like the NGO, sustainability, giving speeches in the United Nations. It's really evangelizing the product, getting out there and making people understand that waste is very important to be utilized correctly. And so we're, even utilizing this platform with you today, right. News to the street, and being able to just constantly evangelize and share, the products that we have and how people can properly utilize them.
Yeah, and then definitely it'll kind of break through the public's consciousness that they can do. Is it available now?
Right now, it's in production.
Okay.
November, December, it will be available.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tony, thank you so much for coming to explain this.
Appreciate it.
Okay. OriginClear is doing some innovative and perhaps transformational things with water. With me is Riggs Eckelberry, the CEO, and Kim Berenger, the Executive Vice President. Let's just start. We set it up with water. It was World Water Day recently, and you did something significant that day. So can you elaborate on that?
Yes. Well, the 22nd yesterday was a big day for the world in water. In fact, a lot of UN symposia happening this week as well. But we organized our own event working with New to the Street, where we brought not only Ken and myself, but also our brand ambassador, Estrella Nuri. We spoke to an audience about this amazing trend that's occurring here, which is, we call it radical decentralization. What does that mean? That means that we used to rely on the big central systems, but because there's been underinvestment, that's falling apart. And on top of it, we have a boom of deglobalization where companies are coming back to the US, Canada, and Mexico, and that's creating a need. Why? Because nobody's going to build giant water plants for these returning factories, which are going to be state-of-the-art, and there's going to be state-of-the-art water treatment systems integrated with.
Yeah. So basically what we're used to is like a municipal water, we get our water from, but your company decentralizes that. So businesses, even households, I guess, at some point, right, could have their own water supply. So explain how you do that. How do you provide that?
Okay. You mentioned households. The reason we don't drink our tap water is because 90% of water pollution is coming from the industry. It's an upstream issue. So the idea is, we talk about an economic boom. The truth is, there's 4 or 5 companies that could manufacture. Right now we have an existing deficit of $1 trillion in our water infrastructure. So if the government so chose to write a check for $1 trillion, which they can do, it would take 40 years to replace what's crumbling now. And then, of course, the existing infrastructure would be old. What we're doing is we're saying, look, this is being not polluted at the city. The city, the infrastructure happens at the city, so it tries to make the water reasonably safe. Where is it being contaminated? It's upstream. It's at the commercial, agricultural, and industrial level. So the term that Riggs uses, which I really am starting to fall in love with, is co-locate, right? Literally treat the water where it's being made dirty, okay? And also, you're easing the burden of the business, right? But they are paying for it. So the idea is the net downstream effect is the folks that are drinking the water, the folks that really, don't trust it, are paying less, potentially not even paying anything, right? And you're still providing this really great cost savings to a business that's going through a tremendous volume.
Yeah.
Water to the people.
Right, and the decaying current system that we have is leading to some of these problems like we see in Flint with the lead issues and things like that. So this would keep the water pure at its location, right? And that's why
Anytime you have an overloaded system, you do one of two things. You can beef up the system, which is not possible, or you can unburden it. So we take the industrial and agriculture aspect away from it. Now it can serve the people, which are only 10% of the load. It can easily do that. Now, we recently announced that we're doing a crowdfunding for this business, Water on Demand. And, you know, right now, anyone can invest in this coming asset boom. You know, looking at assets right now that are in free fall. Banks are up, banks are down, oil is up, oil's down, no petroleum, whatever, right? Well, this is a brand new asset that's coming into play that has not been manipulated, right? It's coming out of government monopoly, and we are there on one side with technology to downsize from the city into these businesses, number one, and number two, enable financing so that these, as Ken calls it, bulge businesses, the bulge bucket, the bulk of the businesses out there get it without having to pay up front. And the crowdfunding, I will give you the link even for people to go to, www.oc.gold/blue. People go to that, they can invest.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Ken and Rick.
Thanks, Jan. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Welcome to Sekur Privacy and Security segment with the CEO of Sekur, Alain Ghiai. So Alain, TikTok has been a topic, especially here in the U.S., concerns about banning it. But is WhatsApp next, especially when it comes to companies using that platform for text messaging? So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so TikTok, it's obviously understandable. There's a lot of political reason. There's a lot of other reasons. China, which is siphoning the entire data of anybody that's using TikTok. And it's just not your video that you post. It's what's your device is, and then it goes into the device. There's so many stories out there, but bottom line, it's good that government employees should not use TikTok. That's for sure, because obviously they have secrets and privacy that they should respect. And in that same respect, WhatsApp now is being forbidden for use by businesses more and more. You know, it started with banks that even though you still have employees using them, last time I think it was Morgan Stanley that had $1 million fine per employee. And then before that, they paid $2 billion in fines because WhatsApp is not, or any of these free application or these big tech applications are not made for business, basically. The privacy is not there and the security is very limited.
Well, let's talk about some of the solutions that Sekur provides. I know that you have a suite of business solutions that you offer on your site. What is that?
Yeah, so we have Secure Mail, which is our mail service. When it comes to businesses, you can basically have your own domain name. You can onboard other people. You may have 500 employees. You can onboard them to our system. And for that, you know, we charge $10 a month as opposed to $7. With 100 gig of storage. The messenger part is, I think, one of the most interesting part because we pretty much have zero competition in that, in a way that now with Messenger or Secure Messenger, you can chat with 80 different countries with people who don't have Secure. So if you have a client, if you're a banker and you have a client in New York, you can text them a chat by invite. They don't need to have Secure. They can chat with you from a browser, and then you can terminate that. The problem before was that the banks used to tell us we need to archive these conversations because of regulation. You need to store everything for 7 to 10 years. And now we have an archiving feature. I think by the end of May or so, we will have a complete enterprise solution for the messenger and the email, where you'll be able to manage all sorts of things. I mean, we have customers that come to us and say, we want to have our own secure messenger group. We got 800 users, but we don't want them to use that chat by invite or chat with another person in the world that has secure. We want to lock it up to our group. These kind of companies are typically banks, security company, maybe some government, and we're developing such solutions. We're developing a solution with the email where if you're a huge company and you typically use probably Outlook, Office, etc., but you don't want to migrate everybody to our hosting with your domain, you can decide to just have your executives use Secure with their domain name, so that domain can be in 2 different places. It's a technical thing. We're not going to get into it, but that's a pretty cool feature. So if you have your C-level executives, they can be protected with Secure Send, Secure Reply. So definitely a great solution. And now we're launching the VPN. The VPN is going to be the same price for everyone. Businesses will be able to have multiple user management. I think the price is going to be fairly the same. So if you have the suite, you're fairly protected in terms of privacy, security, and you can have a very private communication platform for very little. I mean, the whole thing might cost you $15-20 a month per user.
Well, I'm sure this is piquing the interest of our viewers. So you do have 2 discount codes for our viewers today. Let's talk about the VPN discount code.
So the VPN, you have to go to the website, securevpn.com, and you get a 60% off the VPN, the yearly price, for 2 years. So once we launch in April, I believe April 7 is the official launch, you'll pay $28 for a whole year, and you have a 2-year thing. So once you put your email, it's a waiting list, you'll get an email with a promo code, and then you buy your VPN. The regular services that we have today, you can get 15% off for the next 5 years, whether you're a consumer or a business, simply by putting promo code privacy. And, we encourage everybody to use that. We need it. You got spying balloons, you got people hacking, you have everything you can imagine. Who would have thought that you'd have like these balloon things spying your signal? So I think we can all use extra privacy and security, and it's convenient. So I encourage everybody to go there.
Wonderful. Well, privacy has arrived with Secure. Always great speaking with you, Alain, and we look forward to our next conversation next week. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Anna. See you next week.